Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, WIZE.
And welcome to another episode. I am your host, WIZE, and I have a special guest on today. He's a fellow podcaster. I was on your show. I think your podcast was one of the first podcasts I did ever as a guest. It was probably one of the first few ones because I hadn't really done many podcasts. So, welcome to the show, the host of the Geek Podcast, Jason Taylor. What's going on, brother?
Not much, Wise. I'm so glad this is a long time coming, me coming on your show. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been, like I said, I was on your show last year sometime, and it was one of the first times I had been on a podcast and everything. I appreciate you having me on. It was great.
Yeah, we did top 5 video games?
Yes, we had the top 5 video. We had some real good games. Yeah, we had a few good games.
Yeah,
but no, man, how's everything? So how's the 3 Geeks going?
It's going. Since we switched to Libsyn as our distributor, our numbers have skyrocketed. And actually, we're in Monroe for the con this weekend. And I'm just glad this is the first con I've been to since pre-COVID, and I'm very excited to be in front of people again, doing this show that I like doing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually doing a convention or a con or something. Anything I can. Just want to get out to do it live and do it in front of people would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't care if there's 3 people out here or 20. It's still a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the fact that you get to do it live in front of people. I would be nervous, but it would be me really taking it to the next level, like really stepping out of my comfort zone and doing it live in front of people. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a healthy high. Doing it live is a healthy high. Yeah. So it's an experience, and I'm glad that I get to share it with a couple people today. I'll have to invite you along for the next one.
Oh, definitely. Let me know in advance, and I can take the time off and take a road trip with the wife.
Yeah, it'd be fun. And I don't know if your audience knows this, but Wise is a good guy. Like, he is a genuinely good guy. Anytime that somebody needs help, or he's always willing to lend a hand to people I know and to me myself. And I really appreciate you doing that, stepping up and doing the fundraiser that Mick was hosting, and just other things I've seen you do, man. You're a hell of a person.
Brother, I just treat everybody the way I want to be treated, and and if I'm your friend and you need my help, well, that's what friends are for. I'm here. Like, everybody I've met, like, I can't say everybody because there's some people, but for the most part, at least podcasters, there's other outside influences we're not going to talk about, but at least as far as podcasters go, the podcasters I mess with, if they ask me anything, I would do it without hesitation because there's some good people.
Oh, man, I think
Tim,
yeah.
Everybody in that little group that we have that we message in, everyone I think there is just some unbelievable people that got some good hearts. And so when someone, hey, we need this done, or can somebody step up and do, why not? Like, I'm sure somebody else, if I was to put it out, which I did, I was like, I need a guest or something, and somebody answered, and so it worked out. I got Jeff to come on the show or whatever it was, but I reached out to the group, and as always, nothing but love. People like, yeah, hell, if I had the time, I would do it. Or you get all different type, but it's just been awesome, man. Like I said, you guys, everybody else that we associate with, to me, that y'all all great people.
Yeah. It's a family mentality amongst the podcasters that I've grown to know, especially from the land of Misfits chat that we're both a part of. I love everybody in that chat. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for the Indie Podcast United. I was involved with the first one. I'm excited for the second one. What they're talking about sometime in November, which that's good. I'm like excited. It gives me something to really find out what I want to do for that. I definitely want to come with something special.
Yeah, you got to have friends to be somewhat, successful and get listens and so forth in this game. Like, you can't just set out to make money. And I'm in podcasting for the friendships. So it's been really rewarding as far as friendships go so far. I've been blessed with everybody I've met.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been, like I said, the group, especially within the group we deal with, it's just been great. Like, I didn't know, like, seriously, I didn't really think of my podcast as a self-help podcast. And when I was up for the Scene Snob, which I was shocked that I was up for I was up for 4 awards. I was like, wow. And that to me was awesome because that means my peers respect what I'm doing and appreciate what I'm doing. So I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, I when we were announced that we were nominated, I'm like, that's awesome, we're nominated, but there's no way we're gonna beat Funny Science Fiction. I'm like, I'm glad to just be mentioned with these people. And then we actually won one of the awards, and I was shocked. Like, I was like, what?
And the funny thing is, we both beat Tim. Because he has the other his self-help podcast as well. And it was up against mine, which I ended up winning. So it was just awesome. We kind of talked about it on the show as well that we just did.
Yeah, that's funny. Ever since we beat Funny Science Fiction, Tim and I have had a fake feud that we do amongst the shows where if I'm in his little chat room, he'll give me crap. And then when he comes on our show, I'll give him crap. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, Tim and I are really good friends. We talk almost every day, but when we're on each other's shows, we have fun just playing up that little rivalry.
Yeah, no, you have to have fun, man. This is what this is about. Like, if you like, I had to take a little break because I felt I was just burning myself out.
Mm-hmm.
But once I came back, I've come back roaring. Like, I've been recording ridiculous amount of episodes a week. Like, sometimes a week I'm probably recording 6 episodes, 7 episodes. In a day, I've done 4. So I have so much content that like I need to just chill for a little bit and just release content just to start getting, because I have things that I recorded in May that I'm now releasing now.
Yeah, I gotta try. I am one of those people like you where I'll tend to, every publicist that sends me somebody for an interview or to talk to or whatever, I'm like, yep, let's do it. And then I look at my Tuesday and I've got 7 interviews. I'm like, I can't do 7 interviews. So I've now got a calendar and I'm all organized. And I do one week where I do 2 interviews a day, Monday through Friday, and then I take the next week off. And then I have a week where I do 2 interviews a day, take a week off, because yeah, man, you can burn out so easily. Because I'm one of those people. I was never able to talk like this before I started podcasting, and now that I can, I like getting to know people. So yeah, if you tell me I'm going to meet somebody, especially somebody who works in the business, or even just another podcaster, I'm all in because it's fun.
Yeah. I honestly, that's why I record. I don't have a problem recording. I love recording. I love to sit down and talk to people. And it's not like, I don't come from a profession of, from radio. I'm not a professional disc jockey, radio, none of that. Me doing my podcast was the first time me really being behind the mic. Like, this is something I didn't know I was good at. It was just something like, hey, I want to do a podcast. Let me just, and I have been procrastinating for like a year until last year, and I got furloughed, and I was like, fuck it, it's time to press record. and And that's it. And it's once I press record, slowly but surely, me joining groups and me learning all these different things, I started meeting people like you, Mick, Tina Marie, Jeff Dwask, all these amazing people that are willing to share what they know.
Yeah, and
like
guess
if I have a question, hey, there's somebody, I have this issue, and you put it in the group chat, someone's gonna answer it if they have the answer.
Yeah, because we all get it. It's podcasting is one thing. If you're thinking about podcasting, just do it. I was shy and timid and couldn't speak when first started. So just grab a microphone and just start talking to your friends and hit record. That's the only way you're going to do it, is if you start doing it. But no, the community is so nice. I mean, there are some people out there that are podcasters that maybe aren't as great and nice and friendly, but I haven't run into that yet, personally.
Yeah. No. Like I said, for the most part, I've dealt with some great people, and if I'm selective with who I associate with. Like, I might know some people, but it's just after a while, you know who you really want to, what kind of, and like what energy you really want to have around you.
Yeah.
And the guys that we hang around with or we're in that chat with, that's just all positive and creative energy that we just be bouncing off each other. Where people, you just, like I said, it's just amazing that we can just reach out to each other, and in a heartbeat, one of us answers if we're available.
Yeah, I got a message on Instagram from Stacy Toy, and she's like, "I got a rapper I want you to interview." And I'm a huge hip hop fan. I have been since I was 4 years old, and I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. I'm so excited to talk to him because like he's in the business, and I listen to his music, and it reminds me of like 90s West Coast rap. And I'm like, oh, I'm so in. I can't wait to talk to this guy. Like, I am so excited to talk to a rapper I've never heard of. But like I'm just, I can't wait to talk to that guy about what's happening. And Stacy's another great friend that I've made doing all this.
Stacy's great. She's right. She's not that far from me. She's probably like 40 minutes from me in Scranton. But I had an MC that a friend of mine that I work with, and he's a big listener of my podcast. He's a big supporter and a follower. He goes, "Yo, I need you to interview my homeboy from the Bronx. He's a rapper." He says, "But he's not like these rappers now." And he was right. The dude had a flow and remind me of 90s rappers, but it wasn't about the bling and the killing and all this. It was more about empowering the people.
Yeah.
So to be able to speak to someone like that, and then I had him on the radio station and we played his music, and he went, "Yo, that was the first time my music was ever played on a radio station," and he was like blown away. He's like, "I appreciate it," but that's why I launched a radio station, is to have opportunities like that, to give these artists a chance to be like, "Yo, I'm gonna be on the station, come listen to me," or a comedian or anybody who wants to do a live radio show. You want to learn how to become a radio personality? We'll give you that opportunity. Yeah,
man. We had our first performances that were recorded specifically for our show that I got to play, and that was a nerd moment. But first off, I used to be one of those guys that hates on new hip hop, and there is some good stuff out there. I want everybody to know. I think Big Sean's really good. I think NF is really good. Logic is really good. He tried to retire on us, but he's back. Like, he's doing stuff again. And Eminem's always good. Kendrick Lamar, I heard, has a new album coming out soon. Like, I'm so excited to be a rap fan right now, because there are people that are pushing that lyricism. Like, it's still there. Like, people are slowly starting to embrace it again, and you just got to find it. Like, NF was somebody I just discovered, and that man is lyrically gifted.
Oh, MF Doom?
No, NF.
NF? Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to him?
No.
Oh, man. Check out Story by NF. He's doing storytelling hip-hop, which is something I really like, and it's kind of a lost art form in that genre. But, there's people out there that are still doing it good. they're just a little harder to find.
Oh no, I love who's my, like you said, Kendrick. I enjoy Kendrick. J. Cole is someone I think when I think of lyrics. And as much as people want to hate on Drake, Drake has some lyrics. He's a talented artist in his own right, and when he wants to spit bars, he can spit bars as well. Dude,
Drake and Lil Wayne. I used to make fun of them, but those guys, whether you like their style or not, they are dropping bars. Like, they're some of the smartest rhyme schemes that are out there are with Drake and Lil Wayne. I completely agree.
Absolutely, man. Listen, that's why they sold the millions of albums that they had to have.
Yeah,
because they appeal to all types of people.
Yes,
mainly women, women who are the ones who go out and buy CDs and actually spend money on music.
Or the bar nerds like me that are like, oh, it's so good, it's so creative. Because I listen to the lyrics, man, and like rappers like Logic and Eminem. You can listen to especially their newer stuff, like over and over again, and you miss a bar because there's so many of them. And the thing is, I'm learning that also with Lil Wayne, who I've recently started getting into. It's like just so complex.
He can get he's the Carter's 2 through 4. This is some of his best work. He really can. He really got some. But even some of the stuff he's been spitting out lately, he's been really spitting some nasty stuff. But to me, I'm like, I don't know. It's this other rappers who like the mumble rappers kind of killed me. I like Future. Yeah, Future. Nah, I don't mention Lil Yachty. But I can't knock them because they made their money. They're not stupid. Yeah. They've made their money. They've tapped into the internet. They've tapped into social media. They're not stupid. They're making a lot more money than a lot of artists back in the day were making. Because back in the day, people the royalties, they were not getting paid no real royalties. But now these artists are brands. They know that they're brands, so they have to market it themselves. They have to. So it's a lot more money now. Easier, I guess you can say it's probably a little bit much more easier now. You still have to be talented and gifted, but back in the days, if like a radio station didn't play you, you wasn't gonna get no play, no burn. They were gonna bury you.
I tease Lil Yachty and stuff, but the club music is the thing. People need club music, and those guys are doing it. Nobody's going to a club breaking down the bars and the complex rhyme schemes. Like, that's not. There's a time and a place for everything. So Lil Yachty, make your money. It's not for me, but I'm also too old to go to the clubs now. So nobody wants me on the dance floor in the club.
I don't even know. I can't. Honestly, I can't even remember when was the last time I went to a club. I think the last time I really went to anything like that is probably in Atlantic City 4 or 5 years ago, maybe at the Pool After Dark or something. I can't even remember when was the last time I went to a club.
About 10 years. I'd break my hip if I went to a club now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, it's too loud in here.
I'd rather just stay home and go to bed at 10.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's too loud. But I'm in bed by 10 every day because I have to be at work at 4 in the morning.
That's right, man. We can't be. I get up at 5 every day. It's like, no.
I'm up by 2 o'clock every morning, at work at 4. So.
Yeah.
But listen, we've been talking. We haven't even spoke about the 3 Geeks, man. What's going on? Tell the people about your podcast. We're doing, like I said, more interviews. Our Sunday show is nuts. We cover everything on our Sunday show. It's hard to even stick on topic anymore for our Sunday shows. It's a lot more of our personalities that come out. I do a Matlock podcast with John, and we have a huge 60, 70-year-old fan base, which is fantastic. And no, man, I'm just grinding on the 3 Geeks. Me, Max, Dan, Justin. Justin is new. I don't think Justin was with us when you were
when you came on, but Justin's been my right-hand man as far as helping me edit everything and getting the interviews out, helping me do the intros and the commercial breaks and the outros, because our live show is now 2 hours long on Sundays at noon. Like that plug, wow. Sundays at noon.
Keep plugging away. That's what you're here for. That's the
plug. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I do a show. I record it Tuesday nights. They release it Wednesdays on TV PBN. There's a plug for me. But yeah, it's my podcast. It's a version of my podcast, a TV show, but it's cool, man. I've enjoyed it. We've had some real good numbers. I'm impressed. Like, I didn't think that many people would want to watch me. So it's been good. It's been good, man. Like I said, I've been blessed this past year, man, with everything that's going on with COVID, losing some loved ones, but me personally, I've had some great success and with everything I'm doing.
Yeah, it's really got to, man. You just got to keep pushing and promoting and just help. You help out your fellow podcaster, and then the other podcasters are going to help too. Speaking of the other 3 Geeks podcasts, hold on 1 second. There you go. They just walked in the room.
What's up? Hey.
So you never know what's going to happen with me. Zaniness, man.
Have a tablecloth. I don't know what's going on anymore.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
So,
good, brother. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Have you had any guests where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to air that interview? Like somebody says like some stupid stuff, and then you're like,
yeah, I have one that I'm not releasing anytime soon.
I usually edit out the rough stuff, but I've had a few that I've
no. It's just it just oh man, it just no. I've had 2 interviews in the last 2 months, but this is probably me recording probably 45 interviews. So out of 45, only 2 of them really that I really like. Yeah, I don't want to release this. This is not what I really want to release. Other than that, all the rest have been good. So I think those 2 might have to bite the bullet.
Yeah, I've had, especially around election time, I find that's when the guests want to get a little bit more in the realm of, we probably shouldn't talk about this, guys. Which can be fun. It's honestly fun for me in the moment.
Yeah, but I haven't really had an issue. I haven't really had, like, really get into politics. Like, yeah, I try to keep it out of here. I don't really. That was the issue when I first started, was me ranting and talking about the stupid stuff that was going on in politics and in the media and all the nonsense, and I just didn't enjoy that. So then when I switched to this format of being able to interview people and have them share inspirational stories or share fun things, or that's when I really started loving to do my podcast, just wanting to do it all the time, wanting to sit down and record with anyone at any time. Didn't matter. And for the most part, there've been some great interviews. There've been some. I have some that I'm looking so forward to just releasing them, and because they've been just nothing of nuggets where people can actually learn and grow and develop, and that's what I want to do, is just help people.
Yeah, no, that's me too, man. I've gotten really good at shifting away from the topical stuff, though. So that's something I've learned to do because of it. But yeah, man, it's just the conversation. Conversations are just so much fun. Again, it's ironic that I'm saying that. If you went and talked to me 10 years ago, I would tell you that I avoid conversation at all costs. I'd rather just hang out with myself and watch TV or play video games. But now it's like I embrace it. Like, I'm looking forward to Justin and I are talking to comedian Tim Conway, who passed away. We're talking to his daughter, who's writing a book about her dad. And I'm really excited about that, because even though I don't know who this comedian is, I know he was an icon to my parents. And getting a chance to talk to his daughter. You don't know who
Tim Conway is?
I'm not familiar with his work. I've heard the name, and I'm not familiar with his work.
Oh, man.
I know.
He was on Carol Burnett. Yes. That's just showing my age. I guess I'm probably a little bit older than you.
I don't know. Maybe I'm 38.
Yeah, I'm 45.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just a little bit older. So I remember a little bit that things. I remember a little bit more. Yeah, but yeah, Carol Burnett show and all that. Yeah, he was a real funny guy, man. To me, and his was more slapstick humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so it was more. It was just, it involved a lot of him, his body, and all that, and so yeah, he was great.
Yeah, I was really upset to find out about Norm Macdonald this week because I'm a huge stand-up comedian. Comedy is my favorite form of entertainment ever. I love watching stand-up comedy. I can go from people like Jim Gaffigan all the way up to the more controversial Chris Rock. I love them, both of them, and everything in between. Like it's just a fascinating.
The first stand-up comedy show I really ever saw was Delirious, and that made me love comedy. That made me love stand-up comedy. And anybody who can talk about like playing with doodle and all that shit, and talking about Mr. T, and then doing the Honeymooners, Eddie Murphy was the man.
Oh,
and then again in '87 he came. Yeah, then '87 he came out with Raw, and that just really made me fall in love with stand-up comedy, where I started listening to George Carlin, listening to Bill Hicks. There's so many different guys that I grew up listening to. Andrew Dice Clay, Chris Rock. I love listening to Chris Rock. Louis C.K. before he got in trouble.
Yeah, man. Raw, I think the first Eddie Murphy I saw was Raw, and then I went back and watched Delirious. But yeah, man, so those comedians, a lot of them, like Chris Rock and Eddie Murphy and George Carlin, those guys were smart too. Like if you go back and listen to some old Carlin now, a lot of it still is relevant today, especially when he gets into the religious stuff
politics,
and the race stuff.
Politics, yeah. He was one of the realest motherfuckers out there.
Yeah,
he did not hold his punches. He let that shit be known, and a lot of the shit he said was facts, was true. It wasn't like he was being paranoid, and everything he said is happening. Like, to listen to him now, you would be like, this motherfucker's a prophet.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy because you can go and to listen to some of Carlin's bits, and if you really stop to think for a second, it's like, I shouldn't be laughing at this because this is so true. Like, this is so bad at what's happening around us, but he's just telling it, and it's funny. Like, there's no punchline sometimes. It's just him telling how it is.
Telling the truth, and us, like, laughing. But now, now that I'm older, like, before I just laughed, that was a joke, but now that I'm older and I sit down and I listen to him, it's like, this motherfucker's telling the truth. He's speaking the truth. He is telling you what the fuck is going on in this world. And we just thinking they're jokes. It's funny, but this motherfucker is really sending a message like, motherfucker, the government is trying to get you.
I heard Chris Rock was on the Stern Show a while back, and he was talking about how when he did Bring the Pain, his big stand-up special where he the controversial one. Well, he's like, so I ran the jokes by Jerry Seinfeld. It's funny to think that Chris Rock would do that act and get Jerry Seinfeld's opinion before he went out on stage. But it's fascinating to me because Seinfeld and Chris Rock are so different comedy-wise, and they're both really, really good. But they're like this, where they run their comedy acts by each other. To me, it just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, you would not probably wouldn't expect these guys to be in each other's audience, let alone like best friends who share their sets with each other and get feedback. It's crazy. I love comedy.
Because you would think like Jerry, a kid from Queens, Chris, a kid from Brooklyn, like coming from two different worlds, like two completely different worlds. But their love for comedy has them together. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just
the reason
the
reason I mention that is because, like, it's bring it back to podcasting. Like, you know, the comedy world seems like it has been for us in podcasting, where everybody's a family, and everybody that I've heard in the comedy world talk about each other, they all seem to know each other, and they all seem to like each other, and they all seem to share jokes back and forth or get ideas from one another. That's kind of how this is too. It's the same thing. Like, I will ask somebody for honest feedback on a show I did, and I hope they give it to me because I want to know if I'm any better. And we can do that. Like you said, we got the chat where we can ask questions and so forth. And that's one of the things I've liked about podcasting is the family element.
Yeah, no, you're
Which,
right.
Again, from comedy.
No, you're absolutely right as far as people getting together and uniting as a family. Like, so many people came out when your family went through that situation. So many people came out and did what they did and did the shows that they did. So many people came out and donated, and it was all of us coming together for the right thing.
Yeah, and there's people looking forward to us.
It was no ego involved. No, nobody like, oh no, this was like everybody was like, what do you need us to do?
Mm-hmm. Even the people that I reached out to that interviewed, they were all willing to either send in a song or whatever. And it was just one of the most surreal experiences of my life. Just knowing that these people have your back, even though they've never met you face to face.
Yeah, we've never hung out face to face. And when Mick said, "Hey, who wants to do it?" I'm in there. I'm down. I'm in. And that's how we roll, man. That's how we're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I know if I'm ever in WIZE Estate, I have a place to stay. That's kind of cool to think about.
Definitely. If not, I got you, man. I got you. Believe me, you got a place to stay. You will not sleep in your car.
I don't know. My car's kind of comfortable.
But man, yeah, it's time for you. It's time for you to plug away because I know you have to get ready for what you're doing over there. I'm kind of jealous, but now it's time for you to plug away, and I'll let everybody know where they can find everything you're doing because you're doing a lot of things, man.
Yeah, you can find us on any audio source 3 podcasts on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm working on the Twitch side of things because I'm finding that Twitch video has been a little bit kinder to us than YouTube video because YouTube, the algorithms are so hard to figure out. But 3geeks.ninja, comment along. Be a part of our live show on Sundays at noon. We will read your comments. We will interact with you. We're a very, very interactive group. And if you're interested in being on a podcast, email me at 3geeksjay@gmail.com. It goes directly to me, and I would be happy to help facilitate you coming on our show because conversation's fun, especially with like-minded people that want to talk about silly, nerdy stuff and not fight about it.
See, and then it's for me, like when I get to have you guys on the show, or if I get to go on your show, the nerd in me gets to come out because my show is not really is more like self-development, self-help, and so I get to actually bring out another side of me when I have guests on that we have pop culture and all this other things in common. Because deep down inside, I'm a nerd. Mm-hmm. I have my little pops and my little collections here and there, and that's just my gamer. Even though I've neglected my PlayStation 4 for the last year, I'm sorry, but I've just been busy podcasting and building what I'm building over here.
I hear you, man. I keep buying games for my Switch, but I have no time to play. Like I just bought Madden 22 for my Xbox. I haven't even opened it yet. It's been sitting on my desk for a week because there's just no time in the day, but I really want to play. Like I bought it with all the intentions of playing it as soon as I got it, but then life happens, like work, podcasting, and I have kids, so I do stuff with them. And then by the time it's all said and done, I'm exhausted. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I appreciate you being on, brother, man. This was fun. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, we got to get you on ours soon.
Oh yeah, let me know where I gotta sign up, and I'll sign up and what days you have available.
Awesome, man.
But now it's time for shout outs. Big shout out to my real WIZE fam, Poppy J, Brandy J, love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady Fina, love you baby. I can't wait till we hit Jamaica next week. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. And you know how your boy WIZE does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at WIZE_B_blunt, Instagram at WIZE_B_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/WIZE76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.